obviously with the retirement of a Jay Wright, and you look at the Big East and its history, and obviously it's the players you remember, but also the coaches, legendary coaches of college basketball,
Mhm.
obviously come through the Big East. And you kind of look at this next chapter, and I kind of feel that, because Ed Cooley, he views this job as his dream job, obviously a Providence guy. Again, most people in his situation may be looking to jump ship, and he could. But because
Mhm.
not the case necessarily with him, do you feel like, obviously I know you'd have to make a couple Final Four runs, that he really could become the face of the Big East and, the possibility of really kind of holding that torch moving forward, especially just with the crowd and the home court advantage. And like you said, this basically mix of transfers and recruits that he's been able to kind of balance.
Well, everybody in the Big East knows that Ed is on the precipice of doing great things. Providence, as from a national standpoint, has just never garnered the kind of attention on a sustained basis. Okay, to have any one coach or player really be the face of the league or the uh, a team and coach that would automatically come out as out of anyone's mouth about being the beasts of the East, so to speak. It's not like it can't be done. It's been done many years by a lot of different coaches. I named a bunch of them
Yep.
when I was going down the litany of success stories that have been there in the past, all having some level of success. Um, Obviously, it being the home of Coach Gavitt and what he did way back with Marvin Barnes and you think about Ernie D and all those guys that were part of that great run that he had in the '70s. That since he left, there was no one that of all those coaches, none of them were guys that embraced Providence as home. Okay, not like Ed. And so if Ed can do what you're saying and make some runs to the Final Four, and that's what it's all about. Uh, with all due respect to Big East regular season championships and Big East tournament titles, I love the Big East regular season and the tournament. That's what I'm doing now. But you're remembered for what you do in March, how far you go in the NCAAs in today's climate. It's not always fair, but I think it's accurate to make that statement. So, more trips to the second weekend of the NCAAs, more trips, maybe getting to not just getting to an Elite Eight, but winning an Elite Eight game and going to a Final Four. That's really what you have to do to have a program that is looked up to and a foundation and a culture that is sustaining. And I know that's what he wants to do. I think that ultimately that's always been the goal for him, is to take Providence to the promised land and hopefully have sustained success. And I think he's got that chance in large measure because he is one of your own, and he knows that. And he's proven now that he can get players. And now, because of NIL and the portal, there's a very good chance that you can hold on to these guys a little bit longer.
Yeah.
There really is. Now, I'm not saying that the NIL bank is as big at Providence as it is in a lot of other places, but it exists.
Yeah.
And if a few coaches can retain the services of some of their big time players for an additional year, I think a lot of these players now are opting to stay because they realize these Gen Z kids that are coming up now, they're pretty smart. They realize that the best times of their lives in basketball are spent in college. And they've heard from a few other people that when you go to the next level, it's a business.
Yeah.
And the college game is a business too, but it's a business that's within the college framework. And I think holding on to some of these guys is something Ed can do. But what he's proven is that if he loses guys, he knows how to supplant them. He knows how to bring other guys in and be successful quickly, very quickly. I think that's his greatest asset, Nathan. I think his ability to make a team that you would think would have real problems from a chemistry standpoint become part of a family unit and trust one another and love one another. That's the messaging he always sends. And I think that's why you notice that they can be this good even when they lost that much talent and had to bring in some more.